There is a kind of calm that makes people uncomfortable. Not the calm of someone who doesn't care. Not the calm of someone who hasn't noticed what's happening around them. Not the passive, checked-out stillness of a person who gave up long ago. This is something different. Something rarer. Something that, when you encounter it in another person, produces an involuntary reaction deep in your chest. A mix of admiration and unease that you can't quite explain. It's the calm of a man who has been through the fire and came out the other side without losing himself. The calm of someone who could react, who has every reason to react, and chooses not to. The calm of a person so rooted in their own foundation that no storm, no provocation, no manufactured chaos can move them from their center. Most people have never experienced it. Most people are afraid of it, because it represents something they secretly know they don't have, and aren't sure they ever could. This is inner steel. And today we are going to talk about that calm, where it comes from, what it actually looks like, and how you build it inside yourself until no person, no situation, and no pressure can take it from you. The Emperor in the Burning Room. In 177 AD, Marcus Aurelius received news in a single week that would have broken most men entirely. A devastating plague was moving through Rome, killing thousands. 2 of his children died within days of each other. A trusted general had betrayed him on the eastern frontier. The Senate was restless with political scheming, and the northern barbarian tribes, sensing weakness, were pressing harder at the borders. In that same week, the same 7 days containing all of that, Marcus Aurelius sat down and wrote in his private journal. Not letters to generals, not emergency decrees, not desperate pleas to the gods. He wrote reflections. Calm, measured, deeply reasoned thoughts about virtue, about the nature of impermanence, about what a good man does when the world does not cooperate with his plans. One entry from that period read, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, and do so with all your heart." Not despair. Not rage. Not collapse. Not the performance of stoic composure while privately unraveling. Genuine, deep, philosophically earned calm in the middle of a burning room. His advisors noticed it. His generals noticed it. His enemies, notably, noticed it too. And what they all felt in the presence of that calm, what the historians who documented it couldn't quite explain, was something close to fear. Not fear of the man's power. Fear of what his composure represented. Because a man who cannot be destabilized by the very worst the world can throw at him is a man you cannot control, cannot manipulate, cannot move from his course. And that is genuinely terrifying to anyone whose power depends on being able to provoke a reaction. This is the first truth about this kind of calm. It is not the absence of feeling. Marcus Aurelius felt everything. He grieved his children. He was furious at the betrayal. He was heavy with the weight of plague and war and political scheming. The calm was not numbness. It was mastery, the hard-won ability to feel the full force of everything happening and still choose, deliberately and with great difficulty, how to respond. The world fears this kind of calm because the world runs on reaction. The news cycle runs on it. Social media runs on it. Manipulation runs on it. Every system designed to control you depends, at its foundation, on your ability to be provoked. Take that away. Take away the guaranteed reaction, the predictable destabilization, and you have taken away the most powerful lever anyone has ever had over you. Marcus Aurelius never tried to appear calm. He built it, painfully, through years of daily philosophical practice, until it was simply what he was. And the world, 2,000 years later, is still writing about the man. Subscribe to Inner Steel right now if this is already speaking to something real inside you. Because every single video on this channel is designed to help you build exactly this. Not the performance of strength. The actual thing. The man who didn't flinch. There's a recorded moment from the life of Cato the Younger, Roman senator, Stoic philosopher, a man whose composure under pressure became almost legendary in his own lifetime. Cato was standing in the Senate during a particularly heated debate. A political enemy, frustrated by Cato's calm refusal to be rattled, walked directly up to him in front of the entire chamber and struck him hard across the face. The room went silent. Every senator waited to see what Cato would do. Cato said nothing. He did not swing back. He did not rage. He did not storm out. He simply adjusted his toga, continued breathing steadily, and waited for the debate to resume. His attacker, who had expected either a fight or humiliation, who had calculated that a public strike would either provoke Cato into looking unhinged or break his composure and expose something shakable underneath, got neither. What he got instead was something that destroyed him far more completely than any retaliation could have: the clear, public demonstration that he had just struck a man who was entirely, unmovably, indifferent to his ability to provoke. The room remembered Cato's composure for decades. Almost nobody remembered the attacker's name. This is the second truth about this kind of calm. It is the most devastating response to provocation that exists, and it requires nothing except the inner strength to not take the bait. Most people, when struck, literally or figuratively, react immediately. The insult lands and the comeback is already forming before the sentence is even finished. The disrespect registers and the jaw tightens, the voice rises. The carefully constructed composure shatters in an instant and hands the provocation exactly what it was designed to produce. Every time you react to a provocation, you are confirming to the provocateur that they found something real, a button, a weak point, an instability underneath the surface. And once someone knows where your buttons are, they own a piece of you. They can return to it whenever it serves them. They carry a key to something in you that was never theirs to hold. Cato took back that key permanently. Not through aggression. Through the one response that cannot be argued with, built upon, or used against him: total, genuine, unshakable indifference to the attack. Epictetus understood this deeply. He wrote, "If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, 'He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone.'" Calm so deep it borders on humor. Composure so complete it renders the attack meaningless before it even lands. Build that. Build it in the small moments first, the rude comment in traffic, the dismissive tone in a meeting, the passive aggression in a message, until the bigger provocations, when they come, find you genuinely, unperformedly, unmovably still. The general who said less than everyone expected. There is an old account of a military commander who, after a significant victory in battle, returned to the city to an enormous public reception. Crowds gathered. Officials prepared speeches. Everyone expected the victorious general to stand up and narrate the triumph in vivid detail, the strategy, the sacrifice, the brilliance of the campaign. The general stood at the front of the assembled crowd, looked out at them for a long moment, and said 7 words. "We went. We faced them. We won." Then he sat down. The silence that followed lasted several seconds. And then something remarkable happened. The crowd erupted. Not politely, not obligatorily, but with genuine, uncontrolled admiration. Because what those 7 words communicated was something no lengthy oration ever could have. A man so internally solid, so entirely without need